So we're looking at lesson 50 today, Friday, November 9th. Remember, your test is on Tuesday. There's no school on Monday. So make sure over the weekend you review. Also, the review is already on the blog spot, by the way. It's already there. So it's ready for you to view and look at whenever you're ready to do that. So listen, on page 352 and 353, there's a lot of explanation into what we're doing here. I'm going to kind of bypass that and go right to the meat of what's going on. A lot of what I'm showing you today is the very, very basic entry-level information you would need for one of our chapters in chemistry when we're talking about doing factor dimensional analysis or factor labeling dimensional analysis. So they're introducing you to that idea by talking about equivalent measures and unit multipliers. So here's what's going to happen. When we have something like this, let me make things a little bit bigger here. Hold on. I'm going to change my pressure scale, my ink flow, brush size a little bit. Okay. When we have something like this, 3 feet equals 1 yard, this is an equivalent measure. And we know that equivalent because of the equal sign here. Okay? We're saying that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, so there's an equivalent measure. They measure equally. Equivalent measure. Got it? Equal sign tells us it's an equivalent measure. Now, the unit multipliers for this equivalent measure are these. When I say that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, or 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, these are my unit multipliers, because when I'm going to be doing my problem a little later on, I'm using these unit multipliers to multiply something in my answer or my question to get the answer that I'm looking for. So just know that when we're talking about parts, talking about naming things, that this here is the equivalent measure, and these here are the unit multipliers. Okay? You'll want to know that. All right, now this is where I should be able to scroll up and get rid of some of that stuff. And then, so here's our first problem, guys. It wants us to take 240 yards and it says select unit multipliers from example 1 to convert 240 yards to feet. So I want to go from 240 yards and I'm trying to get to feet. So I ask myself the question, what are my unit multipliers between feet and yard? Remember, we said that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, and therefore 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, right? So they are my unit multipliers. It wants me to use a unit multiplier to answer this question of how many feet are in 240 yards. So I start my answer by bringing down my given. I always start with my given. This is my given. I know they told me I have 240 yards, so I start with that. You always start with the known or the given. And then I need a unit multiplier, so I'm going to need that dividing line. Now I need my numerator and my denominator. Remember, I'm trying to go from yards to feet, so I have to cancel out the yards. I have to find some way in this problem to get rid of the yards and be left with the feet. To do that, I'm going to, since my yards is in the numerator, I'm going to put my yards over here in the denominator so they'll cancel out. Because remember, this is basically over 1, right? We just don't show it because it's just not how we do it, but it's really over 1. If we wanted to put it over 1, we could. So the yards is in the numerator. To get rid of the yards, because I'm trying to go to feet, remember, I'm trying to go to feet, I have to get rid of my yards. And I'm going to put, there is a relationship that I know between yards and feet that I know what they are. And what is that? I know that 1 yard has 3 feet. So I've accomplished my goal. I've gotten rid of the yards, which is what they wanted me to do. I've got it over to feet, which is what they wanted, because I'm going from yards to feet, so I did it. And now I simply do the math. All I have to do now is do the math, and I'll have my answer. And obviously, when I take 240 times 3, 240 times 3, it gives me 720, and I'm in feet, so my answer is feet. 1 times 1 is 1. It's 720 over 1. We don't really show the 1, so it's just 720 feet. That's the answer. That's how we do that. That make sense? Okay. Any questions about that, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, we're doing good. All right. I don't understand. Why are you getting bored with me? Yeah? Who said yeah? Jacob, really? Can't you at least lie and say, no, Dr. Kravchuk, I'm inspired by everything you say? That's a good idea.
I'm inspired.
Jamie, I'll take that under consideration. Jamie said that?
No, I think Jamie shouldn't have homework on Tuesday. No, he thinks that none of us should have homework.
Really? Okay. All right.
And Brandon.
Seriously?
Say Wednesday.
Yeah, me and Brandon shouldn't have homework.
What about me?
On Tuesday.
On Wednesday.
Next day we have homework, so yeah, Wednesday.
Okay. All right, sit down. All right, sit down. Sit down. I got you on the video. They can see everything.
That's a microphone.
I know. Just checking. I know. I know.
My microphone.
Sit down.
Hey guys.
All right, guys. We have another example to do. Example number 3. Okay, for this example here, it says an Olympic event in track and field is the 100-meter dash. 100 meters is about how many yards? Okay, so I know I have a 100-meter dash. So I'm going to write that down. That's my given. And they're asking me about how many yards. How many yards is 100 meters? That's my question. How many yards is 100 meters? Well, I don't know what the relationship between meters and yards is, but they happen to tell me. So my unit of measurement, according to the book, it says that 1 meter is equal to 1.1 yard. So 1 meter is equal to 1.1 yard. Okay, or I can put down 1.1 yard is equal to 1 meter, however I need it. Remember, this is secretly over, oops, supposed to do that in yellow. This is secretly over 1, right? We don't show it, but it's secretly over 1. And to find my answer here, what's my relationship? I'm trying to get rid of the meters, so I put the meters over here. That's hardly showing up. Hold on. Put my meters over here. My yards are going to go up here. What's my relationship? 1 meter is 1.1 yard. When I do the math, what do I get when I multiply 1.1 times 100? What do I get? 100. I get 110. So my answer is going to be 110 yards are in a meter because I canceled out my meters right here. And I'm left with yards. And that's what they asked me. How many yards are in 100 meters? That's how we figure it out. You guys know this already? It's really that easy, huh? See, I can't scroll up anymore. I don't understand why it didn't let me scroll up more. I don't like that. Not happy with that at all. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I know why. Because I didn't pull this all the way up. Now it will. Watch. Yeah, buddy. Huh. Still didn't.
Use the hand thing and put it up a little more.
It won't. Oops. It won't let me. No, it won't let me go back. Okay, something for me to work on. All right, I'm clearing all this out. Let me go back down. I guess I'll clear it all. All right. One more problem here. It's Tim can sprint 9 yards per second. I'm going to write this out so you can actually see it. Yeah? Huh? You already know the answer? All right. Tim can sprint. Look at the board, guys. Tim can sprint 9 yards. Now, when we're doing, they're giving me 2 bits of information, 9 yards per 1 second. So in my given, this is now my given. This whole thing is my given. Okay? 9 yards per second. Convert this rate to feet per second. They want me to go to feet per second, per 1 second. So here's how I do that. I start with what I know, 9 yards per 1 second. And I got to use a unit multiplier. A unit multiplier that's going to take me from, I already have my seconds, right? So I don't have to do anything with this. But I got to take a unit multiplier and get rid of this yard somehow. So how can I do that? I know I have to put yards in the denominator, and I can put feet up here. I know there's a unit of measure between yards and feet that I know. And once again, I know 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So I've canceled out my yards. I'm left with feet and second, which is what I want, feet per second. 9 times 3 is 27, and that's feet per second. The math is done. That's my answer. Not too hard, is it, guys? Any questions? Huh? 9 yards a second. Well, so what? That's 100 yards. Yeah, there's people that do 100 yards under 10 seconds. Matter of fact, in the Olympics, the 100-meter dash is under 10 seconds. Isn't it like 10:04 or something? Okay, guys, you have any questions? You have a question about your test? Hold on.